All right, so here's the thing. This weekend league was the disconnect league. It was so bad that I put out a tweet. Somebody actually tweeted at me. Let me see if I can see my retweet.
Okay.
And they said, I did a test. I went into weekend league 25 times, and without even playing a single game, I just went in, and if the game loaded correctly, I backed out and took the L. He went in 25 times. With the amount of DCs, he ended up winning 13 games that way. Just loading in.
What?
Just winning disconnects. Yes. Somebody repeated the LJ from stream I saw. He repeated the experiment for the Mutt sub. He got 9 wins that way.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, like, what I put out on Twitter, I was like, well, we should call this a coin-making method now, or loophole, so that way EA puts all their effort into patching it. What do you think of that strat?
Yeah, well, that's pretty much your thing. You're the king of the loopholes. I don't know if EA would make it as a higher priority because they know they're not stupid. They know exactly what's going on. They know realistically, you're not really making much. They give you 25 coins, bro, per win. Like, listen, you got to understand, these are some of the most demonic savages that I've ever seen or dealt with. You can imagine, bro, when you go into a weekend league, first of all, you start to clinch up like Eminem before he did a rap battle back in the day, and you just start sweating profusely because you know a couple things are going to happen. A 9-month-old baby is going to come out and throw a dot so hot, it's going to rip through your butt cheeks. So it's not really worth it regardless. You got to understand, when you find the loopholes, like, I got to give you a lot of credit about that. You'll go in right at the launch of a new promo and show exactly where they effed up. And they have no choice but to fix it because now you're messing with their money. This doesn't mean anything, bro. You know how stupid we are the biggest idiots in gaming. I'm going to tell you why. Nobody has complained enough about the 25 cent. Nobody in your stream has made a volatile tweet like, yo, we're getting 25 cents a game. They at least gave us 1,000 last year. Why are they reducing everything? Look at what they did with the touchdown packs. From 65 to 50. Doesn't anybody realize what EA is doing? So I don't think that they would patch anything that has to do with it. And I also think that the reason that they had to address it, guys like yourself, you had a lot of other YouTubers that were tweeting out about it. You had Xerxes, a couple other guys that were coming out and saying stuff, and they have to say something. Other than that, they don't really care because the dudes that play the game, they suck anyway. You know, like, the market is not about players that's trying to get better. Bro, dudes just want to wake up, get butt naked, and play Madden. Bro, everybody that I play, I guarantee you, bro, they are butt naked playing me, and they're laughing about it. You've played a psycho. Let me just ask you about your experiences. You've absolutely played a psycho that got up in the morning, did not brush his teeth, said hi to the mailman with his breath right in his face, with all these things going on with COVID, then came back and logged in and played Gut Fizzle and beat the brakes off you. And he's an idiot. That's the market. That's the market of EA Sports. So they won't patch anything. Nothing will get patched because you're not making anything. But go ahead.
No, I was just like, so you don't think EA would have done anything or said anything this morning if like YouTubers hadn't said anything about the disconnects, how bad it was? You don't think like EA has like a pulse too much on like the numbers behind the scenes? Like, they don't care that everybody disconnected like through the numbers, but because we made such a fuss of it on socials, that's what they saw and that's what they passed it along to. So you're saying like,
yep,
okay,
yeah, because you got to understand, guys like CC, these guys, I saw that Throne tweeted it out, you tweeted it out, I tried to do a hashtag. Together we can do a lot. Like, we don't all have to agree with each other, we don't all have to collab, but we all have to see the common goal. They make it seem like, they're doing a luxury for us because we make money off the game doing this. But guess what? If we didn't promote the game, they wouldn't make as much money either. It's a two-way street. So we can all work together to make it work. But I don't like when people make it seem like, oh, you guys make money off the game, that's why you're doing it. Bro, we get frustrated the same way. I have 5 broken controllers, bro. That's $51.01 on Amazon every time. Bro, I don't want to buy those. I got other things I could do with my money. But the game makes me rage, bro. And listen, I've seen, you got a whole collage of turning into the Incredible Hulk. You understand what's going on. It affects us. So, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all can come together. Your viewers, my viewers, CC, Xerxes, Throne. If we get together and make them understand, look, we're calling your bluff. This doesn't make any sense. That's why I tweeted you. Because you see how help, they always refer to, go to help.ea.com. Go to @EAHelp. And they're blatantly telling you that they have no idea about a widespread DC. Instead of just saying, you know what, we're investigating it. You know how they usually give the generic message? We're investigating it, that BS. They're blatantly telling you they don't know what you're talking about. That is wrong. That you know what I'm saying, bro? Like that is absolutely wrong because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, we know how trash EA Help is, right? Because like they're not actually working for EA. They're working for like a third-party company that bid the cheapest on their open bid or whatever, how they ever did it. They have like overseas help that English is like their fifth language. Like it's not even like I'm not even insulting them. They're taking the job. They're taking the job because EA wants to offshore it because it's cheaper. They actually don't care about helping the players. They just want to kind of seem like that.
Yeah, but listen, I got to be honest about this. I had a run-in with at EA Help, and they actually helped me. Now, I don't know what language the guy was speaking, but he helped me. So look, it doesn't really matter. I'm an equal opportunity employer, bro. I don't know what he was saying, but he understood my gamer tag, and he fixed my problem. So they did help me. It's not always that they'll do this ridiculousness where they don't know what's going on.
So I've worked in like, you know, corporate environments before, and the people that run socials have a direct line from like the marketing group to the upper management. The people that work customer service front line, they do not. They got to go through about 12 layers of bureaucracy before they're even close to the C-suite. So like it's a different thing, right? Socials and the people that run that are way more connected. I mean, maybe not the EA Help social people because they're still technically EA Help, but I think it's a different thing between the socials because it's so like, you know, out there and in the public's opinion. Whereas if it's just a one-on-one EA Help thing, it's like, you know, who can we get to do this the cheapest?
Yeah,
so it's a different group.
I do get that, but what I'm saying to you is why this was going on since Thursday, and then they made it seem like it was a weekend thing. Okay, so this is what I ask you. With everything that's going on, you have Madden NFL Direct, you have EA Sports Mutt, you have all of these things going on. As people that that understand Madden players, you don't think it would have been in their best interest to just say we're aware of it on Thursday and then tell us the BS that they told us later on today? Because we know already, right? When they launched the new Madden on December 4th, it's going to still be issues then. But I think that they're more focused on that and not as much on this because that's where it's going to really be on the front line. Because that's what they're putting, the next-gen stats, all that stuff. We both know, you and I both know, we are going to be raging at a different level, Super Saiyan style, December 4th. We know that. But it's not about that. Why won't they acknowledge that this is going on? Because you got to realize, for three whole days, they ignored the whole situation. They could have, bro. You know what it is? It's sort of like this, right? If you're not gonna say anything about it, that's cool. But then don't wait until we go through all the rage and then be like, yeah, we're investigating it. Because now you're slapping us in the face. You knew about it. It's not like they didn't know. So what do you think is the best option for us right now? What do you think EA should give the players like myself that was going in and giving out free wins to all these idiots all over the weekend? What do you think is reasonable for EA Sports? What do you think, bro? What do you think they should give us?
I think if you logged into Weekend League this past weekend, everybody should get. Well, let me take a look. What's the top reward level? Not top 100, but like what's the level before Legend. Top 100?
I agree. Legend.
Yeah, give everybody that reward level. Obviously, top 100 gets to top 100. So if you logged in, so like, and here's the thing with that. What the hell are you gonna say? Shoot. So do you think? Okay, your communication about they should have said this before. You're not on the bandwagon of better late than never. You hate that stuff, huh? Like, cause I'm here. Like they knew about it on Thursday, or they heard us talking about it. It wasn't until over the weekend that we kept making a fuss. Yep. That they finally said something Monday because they could finally like get back. Hey, we sent an email. We don't know. Okay. They could finally get together as a corporate bureaucracy. They could run it up the chain. Okay. Let the boss sign off on the message on Twitter. Okay. Send it back down on Monday. Like so. Like I'm of the mind like better late than never. Their game still is awful with the disconnects. It's still horrible. But like I'm fine with that. The thing is like also, what do you think about the Madden community? All right, I think the Madden community is the toughest community out of any like gaming community ever, right? Yep. EA like they treat us like true Spartans. They send us out on our own. Half the community, like you say, is butt naked, trying to fight for ourselves out there, trying to like get our own meat, trying to fight wolves and shit. Like yes, we like the way that we're misabused and treated, and we still persevere and go on. I don't know if there's a tougher one out there, right? I don't know if any other communities could take what we've taken, especially over the last year, but like even over the last 20 years.
Listen, I got to be honest with you. You just said something that's so epic because I've been saying that for years. Listen, we have skin like whatever kind of animal that you can't really pierce. I don't know, what is it, elephant, a tusk? I don't know what it is, but we've grown, developed viciously because you know what it is, bro? You and I, we can play each other and have a great conversation. We'll joke around. We would want to kill each other if we play a Madden game. This game has created more savages than, like, if we go back to the Sing dynasty, whatever original vicious savages they were from Assassin's Creed, whatever they were, bro, that's what we are. Because no matter what happens, we immediately become volatile. Listen, you could wake up be having a day of your life, bro, and everything is good. And you bring up the point, better late than never. Let me ask you a question. If you find out your girlfriend's cheating on you on Monday, would you wait until Saturday to confront her? You see what I'm saying, bro?
No, obviously not. Yeah, no, obviously
not. So that should stop the better late than never. Because if you knew on Monday, why the fuck you wait until Saturday? You see what I'm saying? You're an asshole. That's what you are.
Revenge. I don't know. Can you get some revenge in those days? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you see those YouTube videos of like them coming together to expose them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you're not going to wait, though. You're going to initiate that counteraction immediately. That's too long. You're saying better late than never, dude. That means you have another man banging out your woman all week. And he's like, you know what? Let me confront it 5 days later. EA Sports should have said something. Regardless of what it was, we are aware of the situation. Be vague. Everybody's vague. Nobody knows what the hell's going on in these corporations. They just do stuff. That's what you're supposed to do. So that way you acknowledge what's going on. That's what my issue was. They act as if they didn't know what was happening. But so many of us got together and just started doing our own thing, and it forces them to do stuff. Do you know why most things get done? Reddit. Nobody gives a F about Reddit. It's just that they care about Reddit because it's out there and the people see it. It's all about what they see. They don't, bro, trust me when I tell you, they don't care about the disconnect issue. Their focus is on making sure that the launch is positive for December 4th because that's next gen. But that's not fair to us because we're still playing this game right now. That's what my issue is. Like I said, you are right about I think everybody that logged in should get the legend tier. But at the end of the day, we already know. We haven't seen it all. Before this year is over, you're going to probably be full Super Saiyan. They're going to have to give you a new emote, bro, with yellow hair and everything, bro, because they continue to do it. Let me ask you a question. What makes you more scared than EA announcing a patch for Madden?
I guess Romans on our doorstep. I don't know. Like
that's what
I can't compare it to anything.
That's what I'm saying. You see, and we're grown men and we're scared, bro. Like my daughter asked me today, she's like, "Dad, why are you scared?" I'm like, "Yo, EA's doing a patch." She's like, "You're not scared of nothing, bro. Like you always." I'm like, "Yeah, you don't know what this is about." Like they don't understand, bro. My wife says to me, she's like, "No, I've never seen you like that. I've known you so long. Like people actually are scared of you, and you're scared of a Madden patch." I'm like, "You don't know what this game does. You gotta, bro. You gotta understand. This dives deep, bro. You gotta remember. Rex Dixon was laughing about a song I made about it in Madden 16. This is 4 years later, and dudes are dotting you through your skull, bro, and they don't even address it. Bro, they don't even, what the hell? Bro, do you realize that? You might, I'm telling you, you don't know, but we're all mentally incapacitated. And I think many of us are going to have to probably be scientific experiments before this is all over, because we lived through this, bro. This is some of the most torturous things ever. Bro, do you realize the game was horrific and they made us delete it and re-download it? Do you know what that, bro? That's like going home and beating up your wife and like, yo, make me dinner now. Like, bro, what kind of madman, bro? Do you understand that? You are a psychopath. We're all psychopaths and don't realize it. Bro, something that we hate so much, we went back all together in unison, deleted it, and reinstalled it, and we hate it.
We reinstalled it, yeah.
Yo, bro, you see how sick that is? Is something wrong with us? You know that something's wrong with us, bro. That's what's so funny about it. And I believe that they watch us and they laugh hysterically, bro, because they're like, these guys go through all of this, and at the end of the day, we still log in and say yes. So
yeah,
no,
yeah, it truly is. Yeah, like, is it our fault for keep coming back? Is it like some sort of like Stockholm syndrome? Or like, you always like, even though you get beaten, you still go back and you still love your parents sometimes. I don't know. It's you're right. It's a psychology experiment, right? If life is a simulation, I guarantee you they're running some experiments up there. Whoever's up there simulating this whole thing on us, right? And how much that we can take.
This is the biggest thing about it. If someone were to ask you honestly, do you think that the next gen Madden is going to be a good game? Honestly, what would be your first thought?
Like, okay, so like, is next gen like? It's so hard for me to reconcile this because you are talking about patches and stuff and some of the things they break, but like, it's essentially like a new same game. Would you consider it like a patch, or like is it a brand new game? Because don't we have faith in them year to year to make a better game over the last year? Like, do you think 21's better than 20?
Absolutely, it is 100%.
So like, why would we not have faith in them going to like the next version of this game? Because like year over year, I agree this game's better. So like, why wouldn't the next one be better then too?
Let me
what's
ask you
your
a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If I come to your house and I throw dog poop on you, is it better than me throwing cow poop? It's the same poop. It's poop. They're giving us poop. It's just better poop. It's better versions of poop. If I give you horse poop, at least you can use it for fertilizer. But you can't look at it like that. It's still poop. Look, they're giving us something that is on that level of like, it's trash, but we can make it a little bit better. Like, look, put it like this. Last year, the rollout corners were that made me want to rage and just rip my control. Bro, it created a different type of thing. No matter what happened, it was a hot dot. They realistically stopped that. You can cover that now. So that in itself makes the game better. But then they did other things. They've increased nano detection. They've increased predetermined animations. They've taken away user capability. They've done so many other things.
Have you seen that rollout tight end release route? Have you seen that lately?
Oh yes. Okay, I got a good story for you on that. That was in the game since September. I played Henry, the professional player in Weekend League. He didn't stream the game, but he was doing that way before everybody else. I don't know if he came up with it or whatever, but it was there. But because I recorded that game, but I didn't post it out of respect for the competitors because I want to see these young men get money. But I saw it. Now it's prevalent. That's going to be the new health system. But it's very easy to stop. But at the same time, it's something that doesn't make sense because even if you man up the tight end, he'll run away from you. So the logic that they give us, that's what my point is. The logic that makes sense, like you and I. Oh, pretty much you can just run any defense with a 4-man front and just contain and have a spy. And as soon as they hike the ball and start to roll, you just send the spy, clicking on the right stick, and that's it.
Oh, so there's no actual way of stopping or having somebody cover the tight end with like a zone.
No, you can't cover it. No, you can't cover it. Like Henry, when I played him, he was beating me by 21. Then I figured out how to stop it, and he ended up beating me by 7. I couldn't get the onside kickback because the thing about it is the spy will run with him when he rolls, and then you just send him as soon as he breaks the pocket, and it destroys the play.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Like sometimes they can like outrun the spy though, which is, but I guess it depends on who the quarterback is if they have escape artist.
Well, this is what he was doing. He came out. He was running it with the escape artist. He hiked the ball, and then because of because of the delay route, to kind of block first, it messes up the blitz. So when they're containing, the contain is broken for that specific play. So as soon as you see the quarterback run and the spy is on level field, what happens is most people send the spy too early. You got to wait until the spy is can see the quarterback, and then they shoot. They fly in so fast they make a bad read, and then it's over. Like I played. Who was running it the last time? Vose. I was playing Vose, however you say his name, and I beat him by 40 because he was running that. I beat him live on stream. He was doing it. I had to show everybody how to stop it. If you want, we can actually make a video together about it and re-simulate it. I'll show you specifically how to stop it because if you don't know how to do that, that's gonna win people a lot of money this year. It's very difficult to stop. It is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's a good tip though. Yeah, contain QB spy and then send it right when they're breaking the pocket.
Yeah, I have it on. I played Vose last week, and he was running that same exact scheme, and he didn't score any points on me.
Good to know. Because I can see that. Because I've gone. Like you said, I went against it earlier in the year, and I really haven't seen it much, and then I saw it a little bit more lately, and I'm like, maybe it is catching on a little bit more. The same thing that happened with QB Blast, right? I saw QB Blast the first week. I'm like, how the hell do I stop this? The first game against the guy, and then somebody in chat said, well, do this. I think it was cover 4 or something. I did it, and I beat the shit out of him the second game because he couldn't go anywhere. So this stuff takes us for a ride the first time we see it because we don't know the proper adjustment. Then once we lab it up, okay, that gimmick's done.
Exactly.
And that shit's over.
That's the thing. See, but that play is going to be very difficult. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, and that's the biggest thing with Madden is most of my prior year frustrations, like you say with stretch, rollout corner, specifically what we talked about earlier, is the lack of adjustments. But this year, what is there that we can't adjust against and we can't beat?
See, that's my point. That's why I believe that this game is better than 20 The only thing that's going to bother you is like what you just stated about, the rollout with the delayed tight end. It's certain gimmicks. But remember, even before Madden became a torturous thing, it was still always a play we really couldn't stop. But, like when they weren't like, ebooks and all that stuff being like prevalent all the way it is now, back in the day, you just had to figure out a way to deal with stuff. This game right here, fundamentally, it's a solid game. It's just the execution. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can be right. You can read a play the proper way, and somebody will throw the ball right at you, and it goes through you. That's one of the major issues of the game. See, that's like I said, look, I'm very, very objective. This game is leaps and bounds better than 20, 100%. It's just the fact that, like I said, they still have issues with execution. That's the primary deal, bro. You look, remember the first Gridiron note, they specifically said that it's a patch to prevent the ball going through the torso. So they were listening to me, bro. And then it's even worse now, bro. I put out a clip the other day. The guy just threw the ball through the back of my neck. Now look, if my guy died on the field, I would be fine with it. But he's still alive playing D and running around. I don't want that, bro. Either give me the fatality or take it out the game. That's all I'm saying. You see what I'm saying, bro? Like, Mortal Kombat meets EA. Go ahead.
No, I 100% agree with you on that. It's kind of like, all right, laying out like the perfect picture, like this beautiful landscape. We do all the tracing. It's gorgeous. You just got to fill in the colors. And like, so the framing and the things around the game is fine. But then EA gets in there like a 2-year-old drunk and like just scribbles all over the line when they're trying to color it in. And it's just, and that's the biggest problem. I agree. Like, the framing there is good for a solid game, but the execution, like you say, isn't.
This is the thing, right? I was watching your stream the other day, and there was this guy that was beating you deep on just a regular streak. And you were raging uncontrollably because you didn't understand, because you had the players in position, you were doing everything right. But there's certain plays in the game where a streak in a certain formation will just burn your guy no matter how fast they are. You see, the thing about it is, when you, like the other day, I was running around with my D tackle, D'ing up a tight end. I was running around with Aaron Donald, D'ing up Vernon Davis. Like, the game is weird in a lot of states, but overall, it kind of satisfies us because we're like, yo, it's still better than the last one. They just do the bare minimum to make us be able to say that. That's what's frustrating to me, bro. That's why I can't take it, bro, and I want to rage. You listen, after we're done this and you stream and you play the game, somebody's going to do something to you that make you want to go fight a cat. For no reason, bro. You go outside, find a regular stray cat, and tell him to put up his dukes and beat the hell out of him because the game makes you upset. It naturally makes you upset. That's my point. And no matter what you do, no matter what you say, you know that it's coming. December 4th, mark my words, there's going to be chaos that's going to be going on. Trust me when I tell you.
Really?
Just simply I guarantee it. Bro, I guarantee something wild is going to happen because history always repeats itself. Bro, do you remember Madden 25, when we were on PS3, Xbox One, and they made the other one, the newer
vaguely.
version?
I didn't play 25 a whole lot.
Okay, so look,
I wasn't in that year.
Okay, 25 was an unbelievably good game. It was one of my favorite Maddens that I've ever played in my life. Then they put out the next gen, the one that had Adrian Peterson on the cover. When I tell you that game sucked, listen, it was one of the worst things ever, and that's when I realized what was going on. And then they came back, they gave us 15. 15 was decent, and it required skill. I couldn't really argue about that. They had Drew Brees running the QB reach around and going for 6, whatever. It was stupid like that, but it was still a decent game.
Was it?
Then 6.
Wait, was it? The QB wrap was 25. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the PA end around in 15?
Yeah, the PA. I call it the reach around. Yeah, that one. No matter how fast the QB was. Yeah. No matter how fast the QB was, he would go for 6. It was stupid. Like, the QB could be 40 speed, and he would outrun Deion Sanders and go for 6. It was the dumbest thing ever. But that was one of the only things that was wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? So all you had to do was play a certain coverage, and you could stop it. Everybody was running it. Like, at the end of the year, I just said, you know what? I don't even care. I'm going to run it too. But then they came out with the OBJ catch. You see, that patch, like how everything can go back to that one point? The destruction of what we see now came with that patch to stop Rashad Perriman in Madden 16. All Madden gurus know that because Madden 16 at launch was a really decent game. And then they patched it and created that. Bro, we can go back. You can go ask any YouTuber about Madden 16 prior to the first patch to stop Rashad Perriman. Everybody will tell you the same thing. It was a very good game. Then they patched it, and now we have all these animations. So to be honest, a lot of people blame a lot of the current developers, but they haven't been able to get out from underneath what that patch was. I guarantee you, bro. Go back to that Madden 16 patch to stop Rashad Perriman. That's what created the devil. That's what created what we do right now. That's the whole situation.
Yeah.
Other than that,
God,
bro, we go ahead.
I was creating content in 15 and 16, and I can't remember that for the life of me now. Like, what happened with that patch?
The patch in 16, what happened was a lot of the pro players at the time were complaining because Rashad Perriman was a silver card and he had like 97 speed. Everybody in the chat remembers.
Yeah, that was great.
And people,
it was a budget. Yeah, I remember him. Andre Archer. Yeah.
Yep, there you go. So everybody
back when they had budget beasts. Yeah,
exactly. And then everybody was complaining, why is he so fast? Why is he outrunning my players? Idiots, because he's a 97 speed. So, Madden went crazy. All of the developers like, oh my God, we got to stop this. They started running around like SpongeBob with the fire, and it got real stupid in the office. Dudes got butt naked, put on a Jason mask, and created the dumbest patch ever. And then they have been using that same format. Do you understand that all these animations with the guys sliding into you, like when you're burning them deep, and you're like a 5-10 yard difference, that sliding is still from 16. It's still the same patch.
Really?
Bro, it's all this. Bro, I can. It's sort of like this, bro. I can correlate from 16's patch to every single year that they have not done anything different as far as making the separation realistic, and it's become all animation based. And that was because of Madden 16. It all goes back to that. Before that, Madden was, bro, just think about it. When has anyone ever started to complain about Madden this fiercely? It started in 16. Just think about it. That patch is one of the most ridiculous things ever.
I mean, like, God, that was so long ago. I don't remember. But like, we've been complaining about Madden for years, right?
No,
you think it all? Well, I'm saying you're not wrong with the current gameplay being based off that. I'm just trying to think, like, what was I complaining about in 16?
Just think about it. The punter catching the OBJ catch on you, dotting you for 6.
Yeah,
the punter, dude.
That was a problem.
Yes, the punter. Yes, the punter. Anybody could do the OBJ catch. It was the stupidest thing ever, and you couldn't play defense. And remember, dudes would go for it on you on 4th and 7,056 and dot the hell out of you. Because if you weren't playing man with safety over the top, he would just do the OBJ catch animation.
Yep.
It was the dumbest game.
Yeah.
Bro, it was the most ridiculous. But look, it wasn't that bad before they patched it. That's what's so hilarious. You know what we got to do? We got to get Rex Dixon on the show. Let's DM Rex Dixon. Because I've had him on a couple times on the show. Yeah, let's get him on the show and let's talk. Yeah, I've had him on my show a couple times. And, we've talked about 16. You need to invite him to your show and ask him about it. Because he knows that was the patch that created anarchy. He knows. He said it. He said it right on the stream. Bro, listen to me. We can go back right now. You and I can go back and play Madden 16 and just throw the ball with our eyes closed and not looking at the game. And anyone we throw the ball to, including our linemen, will OBJ catch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember the game very well. The thing about 16 is that 16's always the year that I think is like the last of the nanos, right? 17 with the nano detection. So like 16 always felt to me as like powerful things versus powerful things. Like offense had that glitch. Defense still had nanos where we had Mike Scrape 3 for most of the year.
Hell
then we had dime flat. So like 16 was like, like we had these budget cards that were just insanely speedy, that were faster than like the highest elite. So it just felt like the last year of Madden being like, just fight fire with fire. Now they're kind of like, now all of their thoughts on like how to balance the game is to nerf things and bring them down in power level.
Yes.
16 was like, just fuck them. Throw like if the offense has got these, if the offense has fullback dive and OBJ catches, the defense can hit you before you even finish your drop back unless you know the proper adjustment to do that one. I think it was 146 in that year. I forgot, or 236 that had the DT A gap, and then dime flat had their A gaps. Like there's just so many like powerful things for everything. Like there's Zadarius Smith. So like 16 was. It was a very unique year that way, and one of those last Maddens that it's like, you know what, just a free-for-all, go ahead, try and fuck our game up, and, do it, community. You fight each other on both sides of the ball.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you agree with nano detection?
I'm okay with it. The only reason I'm okay with it is because...
Yeah, go ahead.
Because, like, do you ever see a screen IRL? So if a defensive lineman gets through the line untouched,
Yes.
He's gonna look for the screen, right? You see it in
Yep.
the NFL. They stop all the time,
Yep.
and I don't hate that. I don't hate that because it makes sense to me. Like if you get through untouched, you're gonna like, wait, where's the screen going? Oh wait,
Okay.
no, there's no screen, and then I'm gonna run. So in one sense, I'm okay with it.
Okay,
In
but let
that
me ask
sense,
you, let,
and
let me ask you a question about this though.
yeah,
If you are just rushing, like if you look, you're still a fan, so you remember Palomalo? He had that great play where he just ran through the gap and just sacked the quarterback right over the center. Do you remember that?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so look, with plays like that, the ability for a player, like like how you can say if you pass commit, the player should be able to go no matter what. If you don't pass commit, then I can see what you're saying. But what EA is doing is no matter what you do, they're slowing down the rush. My issue is this. There's always been a glitchy defense. There's always been something, no matter what year of Madden you go to. But what did that do? It separated the competitors from regular Madden players. So look, this is what I'm saying. Right now, anyone can be a competitive Madden player. And it's not a knock on the competitors, but we have to be honest about it. It is very, very easy to play Madden right now. And one of those things, remember, Rex Dixon actually said this when what was the dude's name that beat Problem in 16? Stiff.
Stiff.
When Stiff beat when Stiff beat Problem, Rex immediately, I remember the video with him and RG talking. They were like, we're coming out with nano detection. They did that because the higher levels saw that Stiff was pretty much coming in with that dollar defense and smashing Problem up no matter what was going on. But
Yeah.
realistically, that blitz was easily blocked. It's sort of like this. You see like how I just told you how to stop that rollout with the tight end delay? Some people know stuff and some people don't. And that's what separates the competitive players from the regular players. There has to be that in order for for it to say it's competitive. Like I can't beat Ninja in Fortnite, no matter how much I try. It is, bro. I don't care if I go to boot camp and I'm not beating Ninja because the dude that's what he does. Like, but Ninja could come on Madden and lab up with you and then beat the brakes off me in a random game. This is what I'm like.
Yeah, but like, okay, with that whole thing. Wait, Gmia, you still there? Kind of like cut off. Gmia, you still there? Okay, maybe not. Until he comes back, I'll have to take a look at Discord here. Gmia's thing isn't lighting up in Discord. I'll just finish my thought against his. Oh, there you are.
Yeah,
Gmia?
I'm there. I'm here.
Okay. So my thought about that is like, do you think the knowledge gap is actually something that's evident in Madden? The knowledge gap is pretty big, but like I think when there is a nano or an easy way of sacking the quarterback and they got to get the ball out like that actually lowers the skill gap. That like because right now everybody learns from everybody either through online or YouTube or ebooks like you say. I think those kind of things like Nickel Blitz 2 and 17 and other great blitzes do not separate quality players from another just because they know it, because that stuff will spread, and then when everybody has it, it made a lot of bad defenders good, because if you only have to use it for a second and they have to make a decision, all you have to do is cover one route, and then you're basically as good as the best player in Madden. So I think those kind of overpowered defenses and overpowered moves, like just think of a fighting game, right? Like if there's a fighting game and all you have to do is press a button over and over and you can win with it and anybody can do it, that lowers the skill gap, right? Because you don't have to do those combos. You don't have to do any counterplay. You don't have to think. You don't have to react. So like anything that's overpowered and that's not balanced is bad for the health of the game because it lowers the skill gap of those competitors.
Okay, but this is my counter to what you're saying, right? If you know something that I don't know, and then you beat the hell out of me, and I go back to the lab and I figure out how to stop it, and I'm one of the only people that know how to stop it. Like you bring up a great point. In Madden, what was that? That was Madden 17, the nickel blitz. Everybody was running it. They ran it on me, they ran it on you. But I beat those players that were really good because I knew how to adjust. So just because something is OP, you bring up fighting games. I used to be really, really good at Street Fighter. And there was some stuff that would go on where you'd be hitting the dude with the soft kick, then the medium, then you roundhouse the hell out of them. Those combos and stuff like that, it was glitchy, but the good players knew when to stop blocking to knock my block off, as opposed to just a regular dude that sucked. So there's always going to be something. My issue is this, right? You make a great point. If it's just a gimmick blitz, you may end up losing to a bum. But if you're really that guy and you understand that that's prevalent in the community, what are we going to do? We're going to go figure out how to stop it. Because remember, we can't do anything about it. Do you remember the QB walk in Madden 09? Do you remember that?
I was not playing online in '09. No.
Okay, Madden
I was just playing
09,
I was playing franchise. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
I
Madden
didn't
09
play any of that.
Yeah, Madden 09, they had a glitch where your QB would become invisible and he would just walk into the end zone. You would hike the ball and it was a touchdown. Did you ever hear about that?
I've never heard about that.
Okay. I gotta send you some videos on that. Well, pretty much EA thought it was a scientific experiment. They thought it was a scientific experiment to make your quarterback become invisible and walk up the end zone, and then you just hike the ball, and then he becomes live, and it was a touchdown. And people online were doing that regularly. That's something that you can't do nothing about. But I believe that if it's a glitch that's in the game like nickel, because no matter what, that corner was screaming. But all you had to do was slide protect and have your running back on that side. Now, I know it's annoying to have your if a player is used to having their running back on the go ahead.
Well, that wasn't until later in the year when they figured out the unblockable 3-man by putting their safeties in the box in 17.
Yeah, but remember, even with all of that going on, 17 was still the biggest primary focus of 17 was a swerve. Because Volterax had to lose, Volterax was running around.
Yeah.
I was doing it.
For offense.
He did it with problem. Yeah, exactly. But look, you could always do something, even with it being unblockable, because I didn't have issues with it. That's what I'm saying. And it's not like I'm saying, all right, just because I didn't have issue with it, that it didn't really exist. The average player could not come on and compete with you the way that they can now. It always has to be. Look, you had that 3-3-5 odd that you were running, that you were solely running for yourself. You eventually put it out and everything like that.
Yeah.
You had an advantage because you were pretty much cheating, bro. That was glitchy.
Yeah, it was a glitch in the game coding. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and you were having the time of your life, bro. You probably got butt naked for a couple games off stream, but you had that advantage. And then, bro, while you were doing it, you were enjoying it. It made you feel good because you were the only person doing it and you understood it. That's what I'm saying. You found something that made you better. That doesn't make the game bad. That makes you a good player. But you can't make everybody be good by making the game easy. That's my point. If somebody has a Nano, like Mike Scrape 3, I got a game where I lost by like 60. Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, what the hell is this? I got to see what's going on. I couldn't even snap the ball. I didn't get mad about it. I looked at the tape and figured out how to stop it. And then I did not lose to that blitz again for the rest of the year because I had to separate myself from being an average player. That's what I'm saying. I watched you play nickel odd, and you were beating the hell out of people just shedding, and you were doing savage actions, bro. I was like, what the hell's this guy doing? And it didn't matter. You were happy as hell. There was no rage. You were just chilling because you found something that worked. You see what I'm saying? So you deserve to take advantage of that. That's all I'm saying. The bottom line is they cannot patch your blitz to make the game better. They have to give us the tools to be able to counter it. That's all my point is. Because to be honest with you, the game would be fine if they didn't always try to he's able to do that. Let's patch that. No, stop patching the game so much, and the game would be fine. Because remember, back in the day when they didn't give us any patches, we had to adapt. Now they go and patch crazy. Oh, he did that. Oh, this guy wrote it on Madden voice. Oh, we got to patch that. What are you doing? You're destroying the game. Obviously, people don't know what they're doing with the patches because every time the game gets patched, something else gets broken. So what is the logical thing to do? Provide us with tools that make us counter what you're doing in nickel 3-3-5 odd. Let somebody talk about it. Talk about the O-line recognizing this. You know what I'm saying? I do the mic. That is.
I agree. I agree, and that I like that as their patch philosophy is to provide us tools to counter whatever shit's going against like that. But they have to patch the game in order to bring those tools to us, right? They have to bring in those tools.
Yeah, but don't.
So we can't get away from the patch era. What's that?
Yeah, don't they release the game with all these tools? They're dumbing down the game. Look, bro, everything that they've been patching, they haven't really added anything like other than making the AI smarter and understanding what's going on. Do you remember the launch of this game? You could get no pressure. That was intentional. They made the O-line super smart. All of them went to Harvard, then Yale, then back to another Ivy League school. You couldn't do anything, even with a bronze O-line. And then what happened? They tuned the game because people got upset. Meanwhile, guys like you, guys like myself, we were trying to find blitzes to counteract those smart linemen. That's what I'm saying. They dumbed down what they want to do to make the game more playable to people that are not as good. bro. That is my sole point. For instance, did you watch the Jets championship with franchise and don't care about ice?
I watched like the end of it, and that's about it, though.
Okay. I got to give you my personal opinion. That franchise guy, he sucks at Madden. The franchise guy, he sucks at Madden. All right. Okay. He's a competitive player, but he's not good at the game. But guess what he did? He found gimmick plays that worked, and he just kept doing whatever he wanted to do.
So
and don't care. Go ahead. Don't care about ice was beating the brakes off of him because he knew about the gimmicks. He understood the gimmicks. That's all I'm saying. There's always a counter, but you got to be willing to find it.
Like, okay, so you say he sucks at the game, but he was able to make the finals of his club championship. So, like, that's two different things, in my opinion, right? Just because another one of the best players in the world was able to beat him because he knew of some of the tricks. Because Franchise's main trick, if Franchise wouldn't have revealed it until, like, the end, he would have made the championship because he had that quarterback, that speed burst, right? Yep, so he also DC'd to get his way in there, too. But he didn't DC through the tournament. He had to actually win those games. You say he sucks at the game, but he was still able to win against, some of the other competitors in the game. So, like, it just goes to show, like, those gimmick plays lower the skill gap.
But that's my point. What happens when you find a person that understands what you're doing? That's the separation. Look, all the gimmick plays that he was running, there were players that he was playing that wasn't as good at the game. It doesn't mean that he beat good players. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you go through his chart, those players that he beat, they probably weren't good players because look, you can't go through a whole tournament and run a gimmick play and really beat players that are good. You can see that Don't Care About Ice is a good player. You see, like, he understands what is going on. You can look at Franchise and see, like, God damn, this guy sucks. You can see that. It's not about how much better Ice is than him. It's the fact that you can get away with gimmick plays because people don't have the knowledge to counteract it. Like, if I played you and you were running your nickel blitz and you beat the brakes off me, I'd be like, yo, what the F? I would go back and look at some of the replays, figure it out, and make sure that anybody else that's running that never beats me again. Unfortunately, the average Madden player won't do that. They'll run to Madden Voice and complain, and EA will fix the game for them. In this case, Ice fixed Franchise for him because he sucks at the game. This is my point. You can look, whatever your offense is, when you get exposed, there's a player that's been in the lab a lot more than you. Like, when I saw Henry run that play, I went into the lab and figured it out. Now, when I play Vose, I beat the brakes off of him because I understand it. If you don't take the time to understand the game, you do not deserve to win. You and I cannot pick up Fortnite and beat Tfue or any of these top players because they put the time in. In Madden, you can go and find the gimmick offense or something online and beat the hell out of even the best players. And you know that. Bro, you absolutely know that what I'm telling you is true. You can go watch a Madden video and be good as F. You can't just go watch a Fortnite video and be good because it's a different type of skill gap. And that is not good for the game.
Yeah, I mean, your arguments are knowledge gap versus actual skill on the stick gap. And every game's got both of them. Madden tilts a lot more because it's kind of like moving chess every play, right? When you're trying to make a read, you're trying to get guys open. They're trying to move their chess pieces in position to stop your routes, combos. Of course, running's a different thing too. You're trying to run against their defense. So like, and Fortnite has a skill gap on the controller, and their knowledge gap is like how things work. You can't really watch a video to be like that good.
Yes.
And you can't watch a single Madden video to be as good as, I don't know, W or something, or some other, what's another ninja equivalent in the Madden community? Whatever it is, a top-end competitor. You can't watch a video to become that good. You still need the reps out there.
Yeah.
But like your point about gimmick, like your point, I feel like is counterpoints. Because like you're saying you can get a knowledge base of these gimmicks to beat good players, but then the good players will adjust. But like, again, not everybody online is necessarily going to see every single play. How do I say this, right?
Go ahead.
So with the nickel blitz and with it being unblockable and with these gimmick plays, you're saying bad players can beat the shit out of you, right? Because they know these gimmick plays because they're overpowered. Yeah. And you see this. Yeah. Well, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, but I'm
so like,
go ahead.
You're trying to say you have the counter for it, which is true, but they can still sometimes beat you with that gimmick because, maybe you just haven't seen it because they're, buns at the game. I
It's like, okay, look, I see where you're having like complex feelings with it because you believe that if it's a gimmick, it shouldn't be allowed. But then at the same time,
no.
you are running a. Okay, go ahead. What are you saying then? Go ahead.
So these gimmicks that aren't good for the game, in my opinion, that should be giving counters, that should be patched and fixed, like that
Yep.
quarterback explodes. Like if everybody could run that quarterback explosion off the right that franchise had before it was banned.
Yep.
Then everybody would be like running it, right?
Yep.
Everybody would be basically the same skill level, and like a few people know how to stop it, but it'd still gain a lot of yards.
Yep.
And just because there's counterplay to it, but the counterplay isn't very good. Like, there's still going to be counterplay in this game regardless.
Yes.
No matter what's run in football.
Correct.
There's play, counterplay. But if it's all based around one play or two plays, that makes for a bad game, right? If there's one or two gimmicks that are overpowered versus the rest of, like, calling a football game, making reads, if I can run stretch the whole game and it's super hard to stop, right? That's a gimmick. That's overpowered. That lowers the skill gap because somebody can sit and stretch, gain 3 yards, fall forward for the first down, and then win a game. Whereas, like, if you have to, like, okay, now I can adjust to a 3-4 defense, which doesn't work in Madden 21 because you got to go to, like, a nickel formation to play it properly against the run.
Yeah.
Then, like, you can't, like, play football and counter their counter with actual counters because they can sit and run stretch dive on you the whole way down the field, and there's nothing you can do about it sometimes.
Okay.
And it's just frustrating. Yes, there are counters, but we still saw, like, with Noah beat TD, they were both running the ball the whole game, and Noah had a better run game. Noah's like, I didn't know how to stop his QB draws, even though Noah's one of the best players in the world. I think he won a belt.
Yes.
But, like,
yep.
So, like, even though there are, I think that limits the skill gaps because there are overpowered plays that you sit in it. It also doesn't offer the amount of play and counterplay that a true football game would.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. You just said Madden and real football. Are you high or drunk right now?
Well, you can't. Don't go to that argument. Let's not go there. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's a major difference between Madden and real football, right? The third person omniscient view that we always have. The game will never be real football. Users are way more powerful than other cones out there in zone coverage.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, we can't do that.
Now I have another question for you. Would Joke winning the championship? Would Joke winning the championship last year? Was that a bad Madden game, or was just Joke the best player?
It was both.
How can it be both? You're saying two things can be true. How?
He was the best at a bad game.
How? Why was the game bad? Because we watched Derrick Henry take his team to the playoffs running the ball pretty much every snap. So why was it a bad game?
Tannehill had one of the best quarterback performances of the entire year. Tannehill last year's quarterback rating was like, if not like, it was dang near the top, right? His quarterback played well.
Agreed, because of Derrick Henry, and he, obviously in real football, he used the run game to establish the pass.
And play action passing, and play action passing in the real NFL is the most effective passes. In Madden, it's also the worst.
Exactly. But what was Derrick Henry, a savage that ran the ball all game? What the Titans did exactly what Joke was doing. What was the difference between Joke being the best player and Madden just being a trash game? It was the fact that Joke understood he had defense for anything. Remember, he's doing that, and everybody else can do it too. They're all playing for the same thing. So everybody could have ran the ball. He just played better defense and was able to stop what he was doing and also beat you at the game because it was all run-based. So how is that fair to say that, he was good at a bad game when the game was based off running the football? And that was it. He just made the most of what was allowed, and they couldn't patch it because the game was based off runs. This is you see what I'm saying? Like, we can't have it both ways. It's like this. If he figures out something that works and you can't stop it, it's a video game. So you have to, you have to go to the lab and understand it. The developers can't do everything for you, is my point. Because when they try to patch one thing, it's not like they know how to specifically just patch that one thing. They destroy 1,000 other things when they go to patch one. So what we're asking for is impossible. So my argument is this. If you beat the brakes off me with your nickel odd, should I go report you because I think it's cheesy, or should I go try to get better? That's the argument that I have.
So, like, you have to get better at the game, but my blitz should be patched. My blitz should not get home.
Why? Why should your blitz be patched? Tell me, why should your blitz be patched?
Because the left tackle turns into a third grader.
Okay. Guess what? Okay. So when you figured that out, other than you getting a massive erection, how did you feel? You felt like you were better than everybody else. You felt that you had.
No, I
something
felt like
that was,
I felt like I was cheating. Like this shit's just broke as fuck, right? But they were user blitzing me, so I'm like, fuck them, send it. Like, right? It's just not good gameplay that I have to out exploit what they're exploiting with their bullshit ass speed burst through the A gap shit.
So
right?
So you still have a conscience. So since our last call, you still have a conscience. Is that correct?
You weren't able to beat it out of me. You and the missus weren't able to beat it out of me, sadly.
I'll let her know that you still have a conscience. But that's the problem. You shouldn't be mad about the fact that you figured something out. Why are you mad at yourself because you figured it out? That's your time that you put into a game, that you stream, that you have your viewers watch. You have to be the best at it. So why are you mad at yourself because you found something that's successful? That does not make sense. Why do you have a conscience when somebody will come out here and turbo blitz your pants off? It doesn't matter. You found something that works. You got to use it. Why do you have a conscience when it comes to Madden? Bro, you are an enigma, bro. I can't figure it out. You will play a guy that'll come out and do the weirdest things to you. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's not good for the health of the game. It's not good for this game.
Why?
That's it.
Why?
What do you mean why? People like the biggest criticism of Madden, what you joked about earlier, is that it's not football. If I can loop your left tackle and he won't even pay attention to Bud Dupree and he'll just like let him slide past like this is like 1992 and we're all learning the electric slide. I don't know when the fuck that song came out, but like it's not good for the health, right? The biggest problem is that Madden's not football. It doesn't look like football. The reason why the pro scene isn't as big as like CS is because people don't think of pro Madden players as skilled at the game. They just think of them as exploit users, cheesers. Like a football fan goes online, goes against something that can sneak through and get through their offensive line. The offensive line just run past the block on a run play. It's frustrating. It's bad for the health of the game. It's bad for the community. It's bad overall. Just because we're using it, because we're at the top of the ELO, where scums face scum, right?
Yes.
It's basically like the hardest dudes face the hardest. I'm trying to go with like Spartan analogy again. Like we're just trying to cut each other's Achilles out.
Yes.
That's different.
Yeah, but
right? That's different. Like I don't have a problem looping around their user turbo ass, right? That's not a problem. I just think it should be patched so that way it's not bad for the health, right? Madden needs a future. We can't just keep like thinking this is okay and that like it just it's just not what I want to be.
This is the whole thing.
And want this game to be.
This is the whole thing. You're like, look, I want to say you're like Lex Luthor because you have a conscience, but you're still doing evil things. You're the same guy that will find a loophole and give it to millions of people and destroy the game for like 5 minutes. Then EA will patch you, and then you'll find another loophole at the next thing, and then you'll find a blitz, and then have a conscience. You see, you can't have it both ways. You have to do what works. It's not your fault that they made the game like that. It's not your fault that they put out every promo with a bug and you find a loophole. You're just good at it. Can you just accept the fact that you're good at finding certain things and stop having a conscience? Look, it's up to them to fix it. That's why they get paid. We get paid to entertain. They get paid to make a game. Why are you concerned with the guy on the other side of your console that's raging and breaking stuff when the next player that you play is going to make you rage and break stuff? It doesn't make any sense. Why are you so, oh my God, I can't do this? They are going to keep doing it the way that it is. That's why I said, if you played me and beat the brakes off me, I would be ecstatic and happy. Like, all right, he actually did something I don't understand. And I would want to get better. But the mentality of the whole Madden community is to cry and go tell EA, and EA patches it. Now, look, when they make your left tackle extra smart and then he went to Harvard twice, now you can't do nothing. Now all your players just stand there and you're done. And we go back to the beginning of Madden. So why would you be so concerned about it? Because I'm letting you know this right now. The guy that beats you doesn't give a F about what he's doing. He has no care. So why do you have a conscience for it? That's what's so. You're a fascinating guy, Mr. Gut Fizzle. You're a fascinating guy.
Thanks, Gmia. Right back at you. I like these conversations. But here's my point: is if you have something in the game, use it, abuse it. That's fine. It's within the parameters. As long as you're not DC glitching people or any of that bullshit. As long as it's in the game, it's on the field. Use it, abuse it. That's how you win in Madden.
Agreed.
But the developers are the ones that do need to fix it. The players shouldn't need to be like not run it because they have a I don't think players should not run something that's overpowered. because this game's entirely wrapped around how many can you win in weekly league, how many rewards you can get by winning.
Exactly.
So but that's the thing. Like you say, it's crying to developers. I'm saying it's trying to make this game better.
Okay.
Right? We're like. The only way this game gets better is if we tell the developers, because they're obviously not play testing their game, right? We're the beta testers, so we're the ones that need to report it.
Okay.
And if we're finding this stuff and we're not reporting it, then the game doesn't get better.
I agree to a certain point. Because remember, my point is, if they patch that left tackle, they break 10 other things. So if they could just patch
That's
that,
fair.
I'd be like, yo, Gut.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, Gut, you right. I'm scared of what they're going to do when they go patch that. That's what bro, I just told you. I wake up in cold sweats when they tell me a patch is coming the next day. Bro, listen, I haven't been scared of anything like this since I've been a young kid. When they tell me like, yo, bro, EA about to drop a patch, I'm like, God damn. Bro, people start ducking and hiding. Bro, it's like a tornado coming through your town, bro, because you know that they're not going to fix. Bro, trust me, I totally agree with what you're saying. I see why you feel bad. You think it's an exploit. If they said to us, Gmia, Gut Fox, we're only going to patch that left tackle being an idiot, I would say, yo, Gut Fox, you're the man. Congratulations. We both know they're not only going to patch that, and they're going to break 10 other things. That is my issue. So it's pretty much like the blind going to the blind. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, they don't know what the hell's going on. They see it, they fix that, and then something else happens. So we can't have that, what you're trying to get. And that's what I'm saying. You still are suffering from having a conscience. That's the problem. They're not showing us that they can fix any problem by itself. Remember, they went to fix one thing, and then we had to delete the game and reinstall it. Remember that.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Okay, they gave us a patch. They just gave us a patch last week that caused massive disconnects. So I don't have any faith in them doing the right thing. But you make great points. My argument is the company that we're dealing with, they are not fixing just those things. So how are you going to explain to me that you shouldn't be happy that you found it and you think it's wrong when they only can't fix that? That's the problem. If they knew what they were doing, we would be happy. We would say, oh, look, we found this. Can you fix that? But we both know that that's not all they're going to fix. That's my argument to you. Because like I said, at the end of the day, they're going to keep creating other problems with the game. And that's what we all know as gamers. Everybody that plays Madden, we all know that. They're never going to just patch that one thing. It's always something else. That's my issue.
Yeah, I like they patch one thing, they take a step forward, take a step back on other things. I do agree with you there. But like circling back to our big thing on next gen, what do you like? Yep. So what would you rate Madden 21 so far? We haven't even gotten into MUT, but like just Madden 21 overall, like out of 10, just give me a number.
Out of 10, are you talking about specifically the MUT content of Madden 21?
No, I think no, like overall game, MUT, Madden, everything included. So I want, like, my next follow-up question is gonna be, what do you predict next gen Madden out of 10 is gonna be rated?
All right, so right now, the rate that I'm gonna actually give you guys my average is pretty much, I think the MUT team, the people that put out the MUT, like the Jake Stein, those guys that actually give us the content, I think that they do a really good job. I think that building our teams this year with the addition of taking away the powerfulness of John Madden and forcing us to make a theme team has actually made the game a lot better, because now it forces you to not have everybody getting the speed and all that stuff. So they get a lot of the credit, in my opinion. The gameplay is not as good in certain aspects, but it's gotten better than 20. So I would have to probably say that they're about a 6.5 to 7. I would give them
6.5 to 7. Okay, that's fair. And then what would you think next gen? What's your you seem pretty pessimistic. What would your rating or your prediction for your rating gonna be with what limited we've seen? I know it's really hard to do it, but like overall, where's your bar set? I don't want to be like the pessimism that I have is over the years of them doing this to us. And right now, with the way that it is, I still think that the MUT team is going to still be doing a great job. My issue is what's going to go on with the gameplay. So I would have to gear it as they can only get better than the 6.5 to 7, but I don't want to say that I would raise the number, because I don't want to give false expectations or false hope. And they haven't given us any reason to believe that it's going to be better. But I will tell you this, like I said, the MUT team is really out there, just like they're handling business. When it comes to like building your team, with all of the, I've seen some MLB YouTubers, I've seen, NBA 2K, the MUT content, that team is doing a hell of a job.
But it's when you put the cards on the field, it's like, what the hell is going on out here? That's the problem. So they don't mesh. So I'm gonna say at a solid. Go ahead.
The problem is the MLB, the show, has the same exact problem. It's like, content's great, but when I put them up to bat and you square up the ball and then it's just like a pop fly or like a lazy fly out, they get a perfect and they catch it on the warning track. You literally couldn't have done anything better as a hitter and you still get out. That's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so the other sports games still struggle with that.
That's what and this is my argument for all the people that are like, bring back 2K. 2K as a company has completely downgraded themselves. I have friends that have, the PS5, they're playing NBA 2K. They want to play anything else other than 2K. So 2K as a company has also taken it's really, really bad. And these are like top level guys that play it. So this is the situation. Like, when you look at it overall, everybody is struggling with gameplay at this time because it looks like everybody took a different route and it's all really, really messed up and crazy. And I just want to let those guys know 2K wouldn't fix this. The only thing 2K would do is make EA see that there's competition. But obviously they have the license exclusively until forever, so it doesn't matter. But I don't believe that 2K is a savior. I do believe that EA has the developers there that can fix the game, but they already make enough money with the game being the way it is, which is why we don't get the real change. That's ultimately what it is, because we can argue about certain things, and we have very, very good arguments. Like, you have your points, I have mine. But the bottom line is we know that when it comes down to actual gameplay and something being fixed, that's not the only thing that's going to be fixed. So we will always have these reoccurring issues. So at the end of the day, we just got to enjoy. You got to enjoy building your Steelers team. I got to enjoy doing the Niners, and that's it. And then we got to go out there and just be idiots because we're not going to get what we want anyway. But we can have fun doing it. We can laugh, we can joke, we can rage, and we can live life and enjoy it. That's all we can do. That's it.
True. Yeah, that's true. And like, all right. If the next gen is so bad, would you go back to previous gen? Like, would you boot up the PS4 again and just play on that the rest of the year? If you don't like it, like, what's your thought process? Like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a whatever question, but like, I was thinking about that. I was like, if I hate next gen Madden, I'm 100% booting back on my PS4, and that's how I'm playing with my MUT team the rest of the year.
Yeah, so pretty much, PlayStation 5 makes it easy. I'm actually going to be getting mine this week. We can have both of them on the same system. So it's nothing for us to just go back to the PS4. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They're just going to offer you a download of the new game, right? They're just going to give it to you because you have the old version. Yeah. So you can boot up either one of them.
Exactly. So you'll have both of them right there. So look, once we do that, if the next gen is garbage, we all come together as YouTubers or, content creators and say, look, this game is trash. We're going back to the current gen. That's it. And people will see it because that's it. They're going to see it. They're going to visibly see if the game's garbage or not once we play it. We'll know it.
Yeah. I think that's great because, like, that's what I love about, like, not to sound too much like, too much sucking dick here, but, like, I really like that Madden did that. Like, your MUT team is on both consoles and they transfer it. Like, the auction house is combined on both systems.
Exactly.
That's really cool because somebody asked about the transition previously in chat, like, from PS2 to PS3. And, from in Madden 25 you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Like, PS2 to the PS3 or Xbox 360 version of Madden, the one that I bought, I think that was 06. Literally the worst video game I've ever played in my life. almost like destroyed my entire love of the Madden franchise. After it had been like my most played game by far in my life up until that point was 04 to 05 and 03 too. So like it can't be worse. Madden has survived way worse than what we're gonna see here and what I assume we're gonna see here.
Yeah, but
so set your bar low, though.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm keeping it at the 6.5 to 7 where this is. It can only go up. Now, look, this is the catch-22. You know what I'm thinking? They're going to have more capability with the new actual Madden. So we may get more out of MUT, but the gameplay may still suck. So for us, we enjoy building our teams. We might stay on just because of those new capabilities. Because remember, all the new engine, all that stuff that's going to be going on, we're going to see like a glimpse with the next gen. Even though the content transfers, you're going to have bonuses on the newer editions. So you and I might stay on just for the actual team building. But the gameplay, I have zero faith in the gameplay team. Like, I want to be clear about this. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I really believe that they go to work dressed up as, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees. I think that they think this is, it's no way that the stuff that goes on in the game should ever happen. But again, it's sort of like this. We've all like you told me before, you worked in the corporate field. I have as well. We always have that one boss that's a piece of garbage, and we have the other guy that's a good guy. And we have to like be able to deal with both and understand what they both bring. In that same regard, the MUT team gives us decent content, but the gameplay team is just like, yo, whatever, dude. Just throw it right through the guy's chest. No fatality. He's not dead. Just keep going for 6. So we got to deal with that. And it's about how we deal with it. Like I said, that's the best thing. That's why you are good at what you do, because you understand the balance. My issue with you is we got to get that conscience out of you, and then you'll be the best ever. Everything, bro, you'll be the best, because that's when, bro, you will have true ecstasy. When you lose your conscience for Madden, you'll have true ecstasy, bro. Your eyeballs will explode. It'll be crazy. Like, you'll be just, bro, gleaming with joy. Because you have to understand, by you doing that stuff, you're actually making the game better. Because you're streaming it to thousands of people, and they're talking about it. It's going to get back to EA. They're going to be forced to do stuff about it. You don't have to do nothing. You just have to embrace that you're making somebody rage uncontrollably and enjoy it for while it's there. Because once they patch it, they're breaking 10 other things. That is my point.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, somebody in chat's confused. The auction house is cross-gen. If you list a card on PS5, somebody on PS4 can buy it. The only time that PS5 version, once they come out on December 4th, and PS4 version won't play against each other is when you actually take the field for gameplay. That'll be the only difference. But MUT itself is going to be the exact same on PS4 and PS5 going forward.
Yes, correct.
For the person in chat that was confused.
Yes, that's correct.
So, like, yeah, I feel like that is part of my job, though, what you're saying. I like to be a professional, like, what's a good word for it? Bitch. And, like, complain. And, like, because I think that's the only way they get a lot of feedback to make their product better. They make it important. And so, like, I do 100%, like, try and be that bitch.
Yeah.
And try and, like, a lot of people are like, stop complaining. I'm like, it needs to get better, right? I'm not going to, like, the worst thing someone can do is be an EA simp, right? Do you see those? Like, the people are like, hey, why are you complaining about it, man? You're playing it. Just, it's like that, like, just move out the country, bro. It's like, no. We can complain about it and make it better.
Exactly.
And it happens.
Exactly.
Like, exactly what happened with this DC glitch that we just saw.
Yes.
We were bitching and complaining. You said it earlier. And EA responded because the content creators, the community were tagging EA Sports MUT.
Yep.
Good job, community.
Yep.
Yelling at them about these disconnects. They're putting it on the forums. Like, that's how it gets better. That's how franchise got looked at, right? Do you think EA would have done anything for a franchise if that hashtag hadn't trended?
Hell no.
No. Yeah.
No. But that's what I'm saying. All of us together, our voices can be learned. Like, this is my thing, right? It works. I always tell people this. It works both ways. We do something that we love, and we go, well, I don't really love it. I actually hate the gameplay, but, like, I enjoy playing it. I enjoy, dealing with my viewers and having fun and, having these discussions with you. And that's what Madden brings. It brings a different type of sense of life to all of us to be able to, make a living in our cases and do stuff like that. But at the same time, we all have benefits because we get this out to different parts of the world on a daily basis for them. So they need to understand we all work together at the same time. And that's something that's very important, regardless of our opinions. And like I said, that's why I never attack a developer personally. I just rage about the gameplay because somebody has to hear it. I'm not going to go on Twitter and start raging and going wild, but I will let my voice be heard about, a guy getting 7 DC glitches and you put out a patch that was wrong. And then you don't say anything. And then I got my man Gut Fizzle saying it's better late than never, but then you wouldn't wait until Saturday when you found out on Monday that your girl was cheating. So now you see what I'm saying, bro? Like, you're contradicting everything, bro. You gotta say something. They have to say something. And again, this is not the last time. The reason that I'm so pessimistic about December 4th is because I just feel that when you launch that game, it's like something wild is going to happen, bro. It's like before. You remember when we were going from 1999 to 2000, like they thought the world was going to end? It's like that with December 4th. Like, oh, my God.
The 2K,
It's weird. Yeah, it's because you don't know. And we don't the reason that we feel like that is because they haven't given us any reason to trust them. That you sort of like right now that it's not going to be the way that you're thinking about. Now, if it turns out to be better, I will be the first to say, like, bro, look. Yo, you guys got it. Shout out to EA Sports. You guys did a hell of a job. I just don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening.
You've definitely been positive about the game in the past, though, but I know that's always ruined by, the patches and stuff, but you
Yes,
100%
yes,
have liked Madden, at least at the beginning of the years before.
yes. I have. Correct. Yes.
And this is why, which is why you feel so passionate about them patching things and making it worse.
Yes, because when they give us the new game, it's like unscathed. It's like a pure, you meet your wife, she's a pure virgin, bro. None of us is getting that, but it's like that. Like, bro, you get lucky. But you already know your dude's just been up in that already. But listen, it's not about that. It's about the fact that we think that it's pure. And then EA just comes in they come in like it's a brothel, bro. Like it's a fresh one, and they turn it into a brothel, man, and everybody starts banging. That's what happens to the game, bro. That's what goes on. And that's what tears me apart. Because if they just leave it alone and try to, fix something here, fix the left tackle there, and isolate those, that would make the game so much better. But unfortunately, they don't do that. Bro, do you realize the first Gridiron note said they patch Enforcer, and Enforcer never worked? Yo, bro,
Yeah.
Do you realize that? That's a joke. That doesn't make – they're not listening to the right people.
Nope.
They're not playing their game. The last person that I think – I know Mo plays the game. I know Rex was playing because I played Rex live on stream when he was the actual creative director, but I don't think enough of them play the actual game to see what's wrong with it. That's why I say again, I'll reach out to Rex. You can reach out to Rex, get him on your show and interview him. He will be very forthcoming with all the conversation about it, and you'll be able to see what I'm saying because I spoke to him at length about the game so many different times, and he was very upfront and honest about it. The patches. Once they created that Madden 16 patch, that has been part of the game since 16. So it's always going to be other problems that come with it. And that's why we are where we are now. But look, next gen, that might be a new hope. You might be right. Your optimism might be right. Because look, if for whatever reason, they get away from this current type of patch situation and it's good, you and I are going to be having more lovable conversations when I come on. That'll be great.
Yeah, it won't be nearly as entertaining, but it'll be great.
Yeah, listen, we'll find something. But again, it'll be a situation where it's like, all right, you were right, I was wrong. I have to be like this because it's been 4 years of just straight torture. Like, bro, look, do me a favor. Go get waterboarded and then tell the person that did it that you love them after. That's EA Sports. It's not a good thing, bro. Like, you got to understand. And then you have this crazy conscience where you're doing whatever you want. And oh my God, I feel bad for the other guy. What the hell is wrong with you? Do you not realize the state of Madden? Bro, this game, bro, the people that you're playing could care less what happens to you. It's maximum rage, bro. And you actually feel bad when you sack the quarterback because the left tackle doesn't respond. Like, I don't get it, bro. But we'll get that conscience out of you eventually. Well, and we're going to see it, bro. Yeah. December 4th is going to be here before you know it.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. Somebody in chat mentioned loot boxes and stuff. And what's your opinion on that whole situation? EA's getting sued for DDA and they're getting other lawsuits for loot boxes. Let's talk about loot boxes first. What do you think about that? Is this gambling? Is this pushing gambling to children? Are children the actual market of Madden Ultimate Team? Because when I look at my videos, I don't know if it's just me and myself, but only 1 or 2%. I think it's maybe about 1% of my audience is under the age of 18 according to Google Analytics.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's kids signing their mom's accounts, but Google's the biggest technology company in the world. I feel like they'd know who is on it and watching and doing this shit because the big brother.
Yep.
But do you think Ultimate Team is gonna suffer? Are they gonna get hit with the loot box stuff?
I don't think the loot boxes correspond to our game. I'm gonna tell you why. EA Sports is very, very smart with the way that they do it. And I think that's the reason behind why they do these Twitch drops and a lot of the free content. The loot boxes and stuff like that, the way they explain it in these other countries that are suing it, it's different than the way that EA does it here. Because remember, you can get the same exact cards for grinding the game. So they're not forcing you in the same aspect to get a loot box. You need that artillery. You need those certain things in those other games. In this aspect and the way that we play it, you and I can grind, and they do a great job by that at that also with the MUT team. We can grind for 1 or 2 of the most recent cards and find ways to do it. So they don't force you in the same regard to say, you need to do this. Like for me, I haven't purchased a bundle in the last month and a half. I'll spend the 20 to buy the weekly player, the 50 player, the 150 or the 500 points for the weekly elite pack. But I don't think it's the same thing because in those other games, I've played those games with loot boxes, bro. One of my actual friends that I grew up with, he's a Call of Duty like pro, and he complains about spending money on the game because you have to do it. Like you can't really grind to get the stuff that he wants, and that's different because I semi grind on MUT. Like I don't only just buy bundles or whatever like that. I'll grind and then I'll buy stuff. So they open up an avenue. I think legally they would have an argument that it's not like they're soliciting for you to buy the pack because you can actually gain the same resources by not spending money. So it's like an option as opposed to, forcing you to do it. It is gambling in a sense because you don't know what you're going to get. But at the same time, they're not pushing it out there like, yo, it's necessary. They're selling it like, hey, we're also giving you stuff on Good Morning Madden for free. And if you play these challenges over a certain time, you'll get that same 95 overall Patrick Peterson, like with all the competitive stuff. So I think they have an argument for Madden. I don't think it'll affect Madden the same way. See, they're very, very smart about that. Why do you think they fix all your loopholes? Because they can't allow the market to collapse because you're a psycho and you're finding all the loopholes. But it's so many ways to gain currency in this game. Bro, I think that this will be the last game to be attacked that way because they have a very, very valid argument. And any court that listens to it and sees the differences in it, they'll understand. Yes, it's a gamble because you don't know what's in the pack, but you also have the same chances of just playing the game. So it's not a forceful thing. Like, they still get away with having it for everyone because it's not something that they, like, promote. You know what I'm saying? Like Fortnite, where you want to get a dance or you want to get a uniform. Yeah, you don't have to do it that way. You could grind the game. It's just easier to spend it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference there that I see. It's like a big difference with that. So I can't really get mad at them for that because that's how it's part of what current gen is. Back when we were playing Metroid and Zelda, it was just the game. Now you got to spend to get stuff that you want. And I think many of us has accepted that because it's part of the game. Now, if the game doesn't work and you can't log in and you're getting DCs, that's a whole other thing because now you can't utilize what you're spending your money on. That will be a bigger argument about the invalidity of them telling us that the servers are available and they're not. So they would have to be better with making sure that the content is always live and their servers are better. But I don't see this being in the same regard and the same light as the loot boxes in the UK and everybody that's suing them. Because you honestly need those loot boxes, bro. Because you could grind the game for hours, days, weeks. You're not getting the same correlation that you do with Madden Ultimate Team. So I think the court would definitely side with EA in their favor to keep Madden Ultimate Team the way that it is.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because I think EA's argument is you're not getting anything of value out of these packs because they have no monetary value. So
Exactly.
basically you're just spending money. But in the end, it's a gamble because you are trying for things. It's so weird. It'll be interesting because the Supreme Court of the United States recently legalized gambling, and it's it's all cool across the nation.
Yeah.
So it feels like the country's moving in the face of it is okay to gamble. It's as long as you're an adult. So it'll be interesting to see what the courts do if they have to put some sort of warning on it or something. But I'm interested generally. I don't care if it's gamble enough because I'm a grown ass man and I'll spend my money how I want. But and my thing is always parents, if your children are taking money off your account to put it into the game, that's on you. Right?
Exactly. I agree.
You got to be better with your money. You got to watch your bank accounts.
Yep.
And if they do take your money, you charge it back, get your money back, get your kid's account banned, and give them a nice little lesson.
Yeah, but that's another thing. My daughters, they play Little Big Planet, and they're always customizing and getting these new uniforms and stuff like that. And, I'll put it on my card or whatever like that. But it's part of what they want. You don't want to be a basic whatever sack boy or sack girl or whatever the F they're doing with Little Big Planet. They want to be, they want to be unique. I don't have a problem with that because I also am a gamer. It's no way that the Supreme Court would say, oh, you can't do that. You can't get additional stuff for spending money because like you just said, it has no other value. Once you get it, they got a cool outfit. They go play their levels looking cool with their friends. And that's what they want out of it. And I see the same thing with Madden. Regardless of whatever, all they would do is just say, look, don't buy packs unless you're 18 or older or something like that. That's all that I'll see that they'll do. They'll no longer be able to do that within the, buying pack situation. That's it. But the loot box situation, I believe, is totally different than MUT. And look, like I said, if you want to complain about spending money and buying packs, grind the game. It's so many no money spent players that have the same exact teams that you and I have. So there's no excuse.
Yeah. It will definitely be interesting. I agree. Like, there's no money spent guys with, like, even YouTubers that have it for their second team. Obviously, YouTubers can do it as a day job because it is, but, like, this is their second team. They have no money spent accounts that are basically the same as us. There's a lot of guys like that. But, like,
Yep.
so moving on from the loot box thing, what do you think about the chat doesn't know DDA, dynamic difficulty adjustment. It's been a thing in the community for many years.
Yes.
Basically, people think they adjust your gameplay during the middle of your game to make it more difficult if you're winning, to basically close the gap on the game.
Yep.
So, like, what do you think about that? Because basically, I think we can agree there is skill-based matchmaking. That's something in Madden that's been there for a few years.
Yes.
They used to match us up by level. Now they do the elo system, so they try to go if you get on a hot streak, they'll match you against somebody better. If you get on a losing streak, they'll match you against somebody worse.
Yep.
Like that we know. Like
yes.
and the Call of Duty community freaks out about it.
Yep.
That's something that we're fairly all agreeable on. Maybe some people don't agree on it in Madden, but I think there is. You think maybe you'll have to let me know, but. What do you think about DDA and them adjusting the difficulty mid-game on you?
Okay, I think that is absolutely disgusting because the way that remember when we looked it up and we found out that they made the patent, that was like in 2016 or something. They had the patent for the DDA, dynamic difficulty adjustment. And in Madden 16, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, there were plays when if you were playing a team that was lesser than yours, that you would just start the plays off without stamina. Did that ever happen to you? Where your guy would just have no stamina at all, and he would just be depleted and be moving like an idiot. I'm pretty sure people in your chat had that happen to them. I don't know if it ever happened to you personally.
I don't remember it, but maybe it did. I never noticed it.
Okay, so look, they were doing stuff like that, playing with the stamina and stuff like that early with the DDA. And then obviously the random number generator, there's certain things that they do with like picks and fumbles per game. Like no matter what happens, you will never be able to have a certain amount. So you'll drop certain ones. You won't get a fumble. You won't recover it. So they have the RNG. They have the DDA. There's a lot of things going on with the game. And in my opinion, that goes back to what I was saying to you before. That's why players that are not always as good can beat better players. Because it all depends on the actual game and the fluke. Now, if they just made it's certain animations in this game, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it a lot, where you get hit stick and you do a whole, you spin around like a little kid, dude, and fall backwards, your neck breaks, but you don't fumble. If they made those animations always be a fumble, I think that would equalize the game because it would open you up. You would have to use the R1 button to cover up ball. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things in the game that they can make sense, but they just don't. And then they fall back on DDA and other stuff like that. Because at first, I used to tell people, don't talk to me about it. Then I started, with DDA, I'm like, it don't exist. Then I started looking it up, and I'm like, oh, they got a patent for it. Oh, okay, they don't care no more. All right, and then I started seeing my guys have no stamina, or I'll be chasing somebody and just immediately be depleted. I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. And then in certain games, I'll be winning by 14. We'll start the fourth quarter, and I will randomly fumble, and the guy barely touches me with my running back when he comes in fresh. So you start to see that it is actually real. You see what I'm saying? So now I understand it. I don't think that it's good for the game, but I think it's good for EA. Because with EA, they can sell it like that. Again, corporate status. You can promote it like you can be the next belt winner. You can be the next. You see what I'm saying? Like, they reduce the age of the competitors to 16. They make the game random. They make it more fun. And now we have all these young kids that are making their money. The Henrys, the Ice, all these guys, Noah, these young generational guys that are able to do better. But when it was older guys winning, because it was a more complex game, it was different. This makes them more money. So I think the RNG and the DDA is beneficial to them. I personally hate it because I never know what I'm going to get, and there's no consistency. So it bothers me because I know that I'm going to fumble if I'm up 7 in a sweaty, because that's just the way the game is. No matter what I do, EA is after me, dude. It is what it is. So that part about it really aggravates me, but it is what it is.
I think the game is just bad at a lot of points. And, we always remember those things in a close game that go against us because, it's just such an emotional heartbreak. I truly don't think the EA devs are good enough to put DDA in to recognize, what situation that's going to happen. Right? They're good. They're skill-based matchmaking, not that tough to do, an ELO system, give people different numbers going up and down and give them a higher boost if they're on a win streak or whatever. But, the reason I just think the game is just too RNG for me to fully believe, because I've never seen, solid evidence. The DDA that they've talked about, we have equalized teams. We've had even teams in MLB The Show. That's, offline stuff that they kind of talk about. I know they've mentioned something with online matchups before and equalizing teams
Correct.
and stuff.
Yep, correct.
But then like people come back and said, wait, no, that was false. He made a mistake. So there's that the conspiracy out there, and like that's why I think I'm kind of excited. That guy's name is Shy Tuttle. Sorry, I just pulled it back with a guy named Shy Tuttle. Weird ass name, but like cheers. So like I'm excited to see if it gets to like sort of like discovery process. They can show it, right? Because the reason I don't like, I was kind of borderline, like maybe it could be, and then Mutt Leaks comes out, and I know he's taken a look at the game. I know he's looked at the code, and he said he's seen nothing like it in the code. So like, because Mutt Leaks came out and said that, I'm now on the side of like, it's just a bad game.
Oh.
Random shit just happens way too often. So like, it is like.
Okay, but look, I got a counter to that. They tell you that they base everything off of real stats in the NFL. Remember when they told us we were dropping picks because they wanted to keep it at a certain average for what the NFL was doing? Yeah, so look, it has to be in the game. And like I said, Mutt Leaks, he does a great job about it, but you got to understand there's certain things that they do that maybe he can't see. Like the stuff that he's able to see on the server, because look, trust me, like I said, I used to time people out for saying DDA and all that stuff. And then I was like, wait a minute. After the day started going by, I'm like, yo, this stuff is really happening. Yo, those guys were idiots and they deserve to be timed out or banned. But this right here is actually going on. And then I had to look at it and I'm like, why does this continuously happen at a time in the game where you really need something to go your way? And it's all in the actual coding of the game. So everything is already determined, because if the developers can figure out how many interceptions or fumbles you're going to have for that game before it starts, because it's random, it's pretty much DDA. Like they already know that this is going to happen because it's already preset. And then we ask about it, and then they respond, oh, look at the NFL average. So just because the NFL average is 1.7 picks a game, we can't catch more than 2 a game. It's stupid like that. It's in the game, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So I respect what Mutt Leaks does. I think he does a great job of giving us information. But I do believe that EA is a big enough company where even with all the stuff that he's seeing, maybe he's not seeing that. Because I believe what my eyes tell me in the game, and I've seen it so many times over the last 3 years that I know they're doing something. And I agree with you. I don't think that they're like geniuses, because obviously we see the gameplay, but they're smart enough to know that the system that's been started, all they have to do is continue it. Remember, bro, they're going off the same patch from Madden 16 to patch Perriman. Believe me when I tell you, bro. If you go back and look at it, you'll see the same exact animations. They're living off the same patch because of a player that was doing what he was supposed to do. He was 97 speed. If you and I go to the zoo and jump into the lion's den, the lion's going to eat us because lions do what they do. The guy Perriman is 97 speed. He's going to run like a 97 speed. Why would you patch that? So that's what I'm saying. I do believe now, and shout out to all those guys that were telling me that, that DDA was real. Bro, trust me, I believe it because I see it now. And sometimes it takes time to kind of realize it, but it's there. Why would you spend money on a patent that you're not going to use? Like, they patented that system.
To be fair, I mean, that argument's kind of weak. Companies patent stuff all the time, but if they're not using it.
But why would they do it? Why did they do it though?
So that way they come up with the idea, if somebody else wants it, they can charge them for it. And if they ever end up implementing it, there's a whole lot of reasons to patent something, even if you're not going to use it. But the rest, that's just that one point though.
Think about how random that is to patent dynamic difficulty adjustment. Like, just think about that's like me and you. We go, you know what? We're gonna go patent, take it from the back or something like that. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, why are we doing that? Everybody's doing it. Like, bro, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like Russ just trademarked "let Russ cook." I mean, it's just people just do that shit all the time. It's just dumb as shit. Why would you do that? And now it's just
but you know like how when something is just too random to be random, they're not parking it. It's not like you get a website and you park it with the URL. Like, they're trying to figure out how to do this. Like, they're like, look, we're gonna screw these guys over. They're not looking to go ahead and just get that just to get it. That's all I'm saying, because if you and I can go back to certain games that we recently played and just point out certain things and say, yo, why did that just happen? That doesn't usually happen at that time. We can see it for ourselves. So how is it not real? That's what my point is. And like I said, at first, I was in agreement with you. I'm like, yo, this ain't real. Like, you guys are just running your mouth trying to make excuses. Then I started seeing it over and over again. Have you noticed that people are fumbling a lot more now in the game since the most recent patch? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Okay. Now look, find in the Gridiron notes where they told us that.
I don't know if I can. You're right. I mean, like, I don't know which patch brought it in, but yeah, they definitely brought it in.
Listen, that's what I'm telling you. They do things and they don't understand the complexities of the game. Remember the first patch when they were patching whatever random stuff and then we couldn't catch wide open passes? That proves that you were right. They don't play their game. Because wouldn't you test that to see if you can catch the ball? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Everything that we are trying to figure out, they don't really understand it, but they do know this. That patch from 16, that's making them money. Because a random player is going to have fun playing us, even if we have more knowledge. Like, I watch you stream and you be like, you know what? Okay, that guy's doing that. I'm going to hit this crosser. I'm going to hit this post. And then the guy comes out and plays random man coverage and knocks your block off. Like, what? Like, bro, he's playing straight man, bro. You're like, yo, I'm doing a crosser. I got the post. You see, the reason for that is because it's already preset. If that idiot picks man coverage on that specific play, I don't care who you have out there. You are throwing a pick or you're getting sacked. That, bro, it's real. I'm telling you right now, just remember that we had this conversation because you're going to be in a close game and you're going to do all your route combinations. You have a flood concept, all this stuff going on, and you're going to throw a pick to a wide open player that's going to get a speed burst with acrobat and no other ability. I had a dude the other day. I played against, bro, I had him burnt deep with McLaurin, with deep end. He had Sanders, only acrobat, no one step ahead. I had like a 10-yard head start live on stream. The guy ran past me.
Yeah.
He ran past me, bro, and picked
I've definitely seen that shit. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. You think there's something going on with the game. Now, you don't have to believe that it's DDA, but like I said, eventually your eyes will prove to you what's actually going on. That's all I can say. And I agree with you also. I don't think that they're smart. I don't think they're smart enough to do it, but something's going on.
Yeah.
It's too random. The game's way too random.
Platinum said, like, catching interceptions on fourth downs are boosted, especially when you don't need it. I mean, like, there's a lot of things that we can point to, but, like, what's your counterpoint? What's your counterpoint to the guys that go 25-0, 24-1, 23-2 consistently in weekend league? What's up with their DDA?
Okay, so look, this is what happens now. When you have a set system, right, most of those players, and I am very, very confident that each of these players that are doing that are running the most meta scheme possible. What does that mean? They stay in 3-5 normal, and they send one, they send two, and they have a set scheme. They also run an offense that's very, very gimmicky. Like at the beginning of the year, one of the biggest things that I like about this Madden is that the personnel transfers. So you saw a lot of guys that were going 25-0. They would come out in bunch with 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and an audible down to I-Pro, run stretch out of I-Close, stuff like that. They have set systems. They also play the game at the right time. I don't know if you know this, but you ever go to bed and you're at a certain number and you see 3 people that are 25-0 the next morning on Monday? They play the game at a certain time. They play the game after all the good players have already played, and those people then play, and then they do it. Yeah, bro, it's a system.
True. That's true.
Bro, that's what they do. So it's all a system. I had one guy tell me that went 25-0 from my stream. He sucks, and he went 25-0. He's like, yeah, I played all Sunday night into the morning because everybody else that's good already finished playing, and that guy sucks. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all you got to have the right meta defense, 3-3-5 normal, send 1, send 2, and run around like an idiot with your user being tailor-made preferably. And then on offense, you got to run bunch, audible down to eye close. You got to run like, strong wing from other sets. You got to have those gimmick plays because if you come out and run a regular type offense, you're not going 25-0. These are set things that they do. Like I watched Henry go 25-0. And he has a very good offense with bunch. Very, very difficult to stop. But defensively, he was running big nickel before everybody was doing it so crazy with the cover 3, with the safety blitzing on the right. And nobody could stop it. It's an instant shed from the D lineman, and you were getting sacked. So you see what I'm saying? And he was playing a lot of players that were decent. He was just better. That's different. There's certain players that are just different. But the average player, like the guy I'm talking about from my stream, you can go 25-0 by just playing the game at the right time. Just wait until Sunday. Most of the players start Thursday. The good players that stream it, they play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you play all day Sunday, you're more than likely going to go 25-0 if you have a decent scheme.
So why don't we hear pros discussing DDA much? Why does it seem to always crop up from players that aren't going 24-1, 23-2? Why aren't they? Why are the people that are discussing it like not good?
Because what happens is they feed into the fact that EA Sports listens to the players that are not good. You said, like, bro, they fixed a patch that was going on with arcade mode. Like, they literally had that in the gridiron notes. They're listening to guys that don't know what's going on. Now, look, the pros complain about foolishness in most cases. Because you got to remember, it's the pros that cause them to patch Bashard Perriman. So it doesn't really matter about the pros, what they complain about, what they don't. Because a lot of the stuff, like, I've seen that you had some opinions about what Joke tweets out. Some of the stuff that he says is kind of valid, but it's geared to help him. But it's like kind of shunned because it's like, you know, it's weird because like he'll say like, oh, Gunslinger is too good. You should be more AP. I don't agree with that because if you're a strong arm quarterback, it should be less AP for that ability. So that doesn't make sense. But it does make sense that Gunslinger actually worked. So he'll make some points and it'll look weird, but he can't, like, the stuff that he complains about usually is geared towards him having an advantage in the game. So the pros more or less do what benefits them in their tier, as opposed to worrying about DDA. Like, remember, when he played Drini and he lost in that King of the Hill, whatever it was, when he sent 6, I forgot what he did, but Drini blocked enough players for his post to get open, and he was raging until he looked back at the clip and saw that Drini blocked his tight end. You see what I'm saying? Because he's ready to just rage about everything if it applies to him. But when it comes to like random stuff in the game, usually because he has better stick and he can shoot the gap, as he calls it, he's going to get those plays because he understands the concepts. So it's a different type of level of Madden when it comes to the pros. They're looking for specifics. Like a sluggish user, they're going to complain about, like they did at the beginning of the year, because that affects the way they move. They're not going to complain about a random fumble because they're more than likely going to get that random fumble. So it's like a different situation. We play the game live on stream more than they do because they're pros. They got to hide their scheme. So we see a lot more in a whole different aspect. So in theory, we actually have more knowledge than them as far as what we see live, as opposed to what they do when they lab personally with their teams, because we're playing real individual players on a higher level. So we see more of the game. They're labbing with their teams and seeing BS and reporting that BS. We're seeing, you see what I'm saying? So it's different when you play the same person over and over again and you're looking for a scheme, as opposed to playing somebody different throughout the week like we do live on stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting to me that I hear the most complaints about that from what I would say is non-pros and lesser skilled people. So it's interesting to me that it just seems like at some point it's like, are you just saying that to protect your ego, but you're not as good at the game as you think you are? Because like, I don't know about you, but I get messages more, like, especially on with the show, I had to turn off messages, but like I get more messages from guys that are like on the lower end of the ladder as I'm ranking up and I'm beating them, versus at the top of the ladder where maybe it's a close game, it could go either way. And like that's and same in Madden, right? When the game first comes out, I get way more messages than when I'm later on in the game and I got a higher elo and I'm playing guys that are better at the game.
Yep.
I feel like it's a lot of people, like it's like the Dunning-Kruger effect, and they're saying, you know what? This game bailed you out. It was DDA, and that's the reason you won. I'm not bad at the game. You're bad at the game. It's like they're projecting onto me their own insecurities because they just don't play the game enough to understand, you know, the aspects of it, how to be, like the reads to make and whatnot.
Yeah, but see, you're answering your own question, because look, we already spoke about it. If you understand the game, and somebody else that's not as knowledgeable at the game is able to beat you, they're able to beat you because EA makes the game like that. So in their mind, they're supposed to be better than you. I just told you, I watched back your stream where a dude was just streaking the hell out of you, and you were raging, and you're like, yo, what the hell's he doing? He sucked at the game, but he bought an ebook, or he saw that play somewhere, and he knew that most defenses, no matter what you do, it wouldn't stop it. You said, it's a lot of gimmicks in Madden.
Was that the one where it was the bunch cover 3 beater? My biggest issue with that was, my biggest issue I hated right there was because I run that same cover 3 beater on that same gun bunch, and mine never got it to beat the deep third. And I was like, how the hell is his beating my deep third? What is he doing different than I did? Which was what I was raging about, because I know the cover 3 beater is there.
Yeah.
I've labbed it, I've practiced it, I've seen it. But like whenever I ran it in game, it never came through, which was why I was angry at the inconsistencies. And you're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's inconsistent the way the game is. That's my argument. It's the random number generator, the DDA. Look, you can run the same exact scheme over and over again, and it'll work. And then one game, nothing will go your way. Your players won't shed. The double or nothing won't work. They'll run against your inside stuff. It's random like that in order to keep the game balanced. That's why I had to kind of start to listen to more of the community. Like, yo, there's something going on. Because even when you go 25-0, like I've very, very rarely seen someone play all 25 games live on stream. And I don't want to say that somebody might have got lucky, a DC or whatever like that, but you're going to get sweaties. And in those games, you're going to have to get really lucky to get out of it, because EA Sports already has certain games preset where it's going to be a hell game. So that's what I'm saying. Like, no matter who you play, no matter what goes on, you kind of see what's happening within the game. But let me say this. I'll bring up back Franchise and Ice. When they played, when you have a certain scheme that people have game plans for, it's nothing you can do about it. Like that RPO and the cheesy passes, everybody knows that that's a gimmick, and he was prepared for it. And it showed that if you have the right defense and the player is running that same exact play, you can stop it. So that kind of goes towards your argument where it might not be DDA, because in theory, Franchise should have been able to get off, which he wasn't able to because he was boxed. So it's kind of weird. But certain games do go. It just goes weird. Like, bro, trust me, you and I both know in our hearts something is going on that EA is not saying. I think we can both agree with that, because the game is tuned regularly. And, when they go down for maintenance on Thursdays and they don't disclose it. I've been causing fumbles with Taylor Mays and Night Train Lane so much since that last patch. And there is nothing in the gridiron notes about it. Bro, Night Train Lane is a monster. If you go ahead.
I've been causing fumbles with guys like 60 hit power. It's all animation based, and like guys with low hit powers can be those same animations. It's frustrating, and that's why I've minimized hit powers this year, because like fumbles can come from anyone. Like I've seen DRC smack the shit out of my running backs, and I've had enough of it. Like where I was like, okay, if DRC's doing it, anybody can do it. And it's true, fumbles do happen, but like what I often said is like 1 out of every 5 games, everything's gonna go my way. And it doesn't matter what I do, I'm just gonna flat out win. I don't care like who I'm playing. You just gotta hope you're not against me that one game.
Exactly.
1 out of 5 of those games are gonna be against me, and everything's gonna go against me. My quarterback will start sailing passes. My guys will have the ball bump off their head. My defenders decide not to tackle. They'll just trip over in the middle of the field because a sniper up in the stands decided to take them out. And then the other 3 games are pretty much balanced on the RNG.
Yep.
So like. And that doesn't lead me to believe that it's fixed on a specific game. I think it's just like randomly coming through, and because the game is so inconsistent and badly coded, I don't think EA's doing it on purpose, is my whole point. I think they just like made such an inconsistent game, and that like there's so many dice rolls that like, I don't know if you play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a fucking nerd. I run it. Like you can run some sessions. Like the DM's like, dogs, you guys all might die this session. Like I played against what was called like a lethal encounter, and we just mopped the floor with the fucker because I kept throwing 17s through 20s. So did the rest of my team, and he kept failing his checks. So we just like wiped the guy out in a couple rounds of combat. Where like, and normally if things just turned, if the dice just turned a little bit, we would have all been dead. We would have had to literally create new characters when we've been running these same characters for over a year.
Yeah.
So like, it's that same thing where like that was one of those 5 times where everything went our way, and I just don't know if like EA like even cares, right? Like what has EA done gameplay wise that it shows they care about us? Like you say, they don't care to play the game in their off work hours, right? They don't care enough to do this. Like everybody's like, it maximizes revenue, but like show me like that people, us men are coded to love this stuff, right? We like collecting things. We like sports, like football especially.
Yes.
We love everything about this, the gamble,
yes,
the creation, the building of the team.
Yes.
Like I don't think there needs to be any more for us to spend our paychecks on this game. They don't need to get insidious with it because it's already such an insidious product, or I can't even say the name right, but it's already such a dopamine-filled product that why would they need to push it more into that extent, right? They want to cash their paychecks and go home a lot of times.
But you gotta,
I just don't think they give a shit.
Yeah, but I agree with that premise. But you have to understand, you just actually made the point that DDA is real by assessing how 5 games would go. Now, look, it may not be on the surface, the coding. You can be right that sometimes it's just random and it just happens, but it does happen. And we know that it's real. We know that it's games where we would just do anything and everything wrong and we will still win. The reasoning behind that is it's already preset. A lot of the stuff that goes on in the game, I don't believe that they have it like set. Like, I don't think that they care enough to make it be set to do it, but I do think that there's a randomizer. Look, put it like this. You just gave the valid point. We love the game so much that you'll go in there, a 6-month-old will spank you, and then they'll drop Lynn Swan, and you'll buy a bundle of pull Lynn Swan because you're mentally defeated. You are mentally defeated because you want that guy on your team. You know he's going to be good. He's going to have a 97 speed. It's going to be sick. So you put everything that just happened to you bad to the back burner. EA knows that they got us already. It's not a big deal, bro. They're going to do what they're going to do because they don't get affected by our emotions unless we start attacking certain people will attack them on social media, but they don't get bothered by us. They just want to cash their checks like you're saying, and I don't think they really pay attention to the real roots of the problem. Remember, they told us that with Madden Voice, it's about the comments that get flagged the most. They're not looking like, look, if there's something really, really glaring and you and I like feel boldly about it, like, yo, this is trash, they got to fix this. If our comment doesn't get liked up, they never even look at it. They could, bro, it's so weird that if you don't get the uptick, it doesn't matter because it's like you said, it's a dice roll. Like there's a chance that they might see it and then they'll patch it and destroy something else with the game. But still, all in all, they're going to continue to do what they're doing because they make a lot of money doing it. So let me ask you a question. You were in corporate. So the number one rule is if something is working, we're not fixing anything. So they're making so much money. Why the hell would they worry about you and I raging about, some stupid blitz or the ball going through somebody's neck and he's not dying and it's not a fatality? They're like, yo, let those idiots keep dealing with that. Whatever, we're going to focus on this. Let's fix something in arcade mode or something or destroy franchise more. They're going to do stuff like that. That's what their goal is. They're not worried about anything else. What is making money? Does franchise make EA money? Like, think about that, bro. Franchise is not making them much money. They're focused on MUT. MUT makes them money. Franchise ain't doing nothing for them. Why do you think they're focusing on the yard right now? The yard is going to be something that's going to make more players that have no idea about football get excited about it and eventually start purchasing uniforms and doing all that good stuff. They gave all of our uniforms during all these promos to the yard. They're forcing us to play the yard. If I want to play football, I'll go in my own backyard. I don't give a F about the yard. I want to play MUT, EA, but they don't care because everybody that doesn't, it's like, I just want to play a little bit of football. I don't care. They'll jump into the yard and have a good time. We want to play 11 on 11. So right now they're building up the yard the same way that they built up that other stupid game mode where they had the celebrities in it that they were playing and stuff like that. They want to make it so a casual can enjoy the game because the casuals is who spends money. That is what the whole game plan is.
Do you think there's anything wrong with that in the yard to help out casuals?
No. Like I said, we all get different aspects of the game. So if the yard is something that you enjoy, that's fine. But that doesn't mean you take away our resources. We were here before you piece of garbages that are playing the yard. We should get the uniforms before you. So I would say F all you yard players. Give me my damn uniforms. Go F yourselves. And when I see your moms, I'm going to do her. That's how I feel about the yard players because we were here first. So why are they getting all our stuff? Bro, we didn't get no most feared unis. We got some ugly uniforms for Harvest. It's like, yo, what the F? Yo, go F yourselves. I don't care about the yard, but that's what they want. They got this idiot Chad Ochocinco in the, like, nobody cares. Giannis Antetokounmpo, whatever the hell his name is. Nobody cares about, bro, give me a uniform in MUT. I don't care about this guy that keeps getting swept in the first round randomly. That guy sucks. Give me my uniforms. You see what I'm saying, bro? Give us our stuff. And then if you want to go ahead and, give the yard some uniform, that's fine. But why are you treating us so badly? Why are you doing that to franchise players that pretty much used to enjoy playing franchise so much? Why are you taking away from them and not giving them resources that they had back in 12 and 13? Like, that's just stupid. Like, why not?
Yeah.
If you're gonna do something, like it's unfair. Like to the franchise players that play the game, that is really unfair. What EA has been doing. They have the same celebrations, the same Super Bowls, the same everything. Like I used to play franchise, and franchise was very fun. Then they started to adjust it. Why would you adjust it to make it worse? Because they're focusing their resources on Superstar KO and the Yard and stupidness like that, where idiots come out and they're just playing it and they have no idea what they're doing, but it's fun and they don't take anything with them after the game. It's a casual thing, but we still deserve to get our stuff in our mode. That's why I feel very, very personally attacked by EA not giving us uniforms. Like, yo, EA, what are you guys doing? Why the hell does the Yard have all these new Nike uniforms and we have some stupid Turkey uniform? It doesn't make any sense. But that's what they're doing because they're building it up for more casuals. So I don't have anything personally against the casuals that enjoy the Yard and stuff like that. But I do have a problem with EA not giving us our stuff. I do have a problem with that. Is Gutfizzle getting attacked? What's falling out of
Sorry, I just I had to charge my controller. I had to take out my earphone for a second. For I missed the last 10 seconds there.
No, I was just telling you that, like, in conclusion, we deserve to get our stuff before the Yard and Superstar KO.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about, I think going back to the whole corporate and how it works at EA, and I don't know how it works at EA, but just in my own experiences, I think franchise gets neglected not only because they're not able to make more money off it, right? You're able to monetize franchise, be like, all right, now you can get an extra, $20 million to sign players by putting $20 into the game for your salary cap. Like, you can monetize it, but they don't because it's coming. Did they used to do that, or was that MLB The Show? I don't remember which. I think that was MLB The Show that monetized their franchise that way. But the thing is with corporate, right?
Yep.
If you're going for a promotion, you're trying to make a mark on a company, on a game. Are you gonna take over an old system and kind of iterate on it, bring back the old feature that they had before, or are you gonna create something new to put your stamp on it? Are you gonna make the Superstar KO? Are you gonna make the face of the franchise? Are you gonna make the Yard? Right?
Yep.
That's what you're gonna do. Making your name in the company is by creating new things, by putting it in the game, by trying to sell some new stuff, and obviously they're trying to copy 2K's mode with that. So I can see why they went that way, but I agree. They really should be fixing up franchise. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I know I want to let you start your stream up, but my final thought, just to wrap around on the final thoughts on the whole DDA versus randomness system. What you said is it's randomly done. EA doesn't really decide beforehand, but it's done during it's kind of done for certain games. That's what I'm talking about, where it is just random stuff goes wrong against you, but EA doesn't care enough to give it any one particular game.
Exactly. But we're both pretty much saying the same thing, but in different ways.
Yeah.
It's there. You're just calling it something different. You know what I'm saying? But we both understand that it is something that's random and it is something that EA is aware of, but it makes them more money because other players that are not as good can get lucky and actually get a win doing it. That's my point.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I don't think it's purposely done. I think it's just bad consistency in gameplay. But I guess we do agree on that.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, everybody, check out Gmias here on Twitch. Are you going live right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna be going live in a second. Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna put in chat. Maybe I'll just put your Twitch. I'll put your Twitter here in chat. You can go give him a follow. Let me copy and paste it. Go ahead and give that a follow. His YouTube. Let me copy and paste that in chat too. Oh shoot, I hope that's it. It's like a Twitter. It's a Twitter. I got it from your Twitter. YouTube.com/c/Gmias.
Yeah.
And then Twitch.tv/Gmiasworld 2. I'll put that right in chat also. For some reason I didn't get the link.
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, go take a look at him. Go sub YouTube, Twitch, all that. Really appreciate it. It was a fun chat.
Absolutely.
Take it easy. It went a lot longer than I thought it was. We had a good combo.
Yeah, no, that was really, really great. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I think we got a lot of stuff off our chest with this EA situation.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I don't know. I'm looking forward to next gen. Let's have one after next gen launches, and we can do a little chat on our thoughts on it.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as next gen launches, I'm gonna be hitting you in the DMs, bro.
Let's do it. Yeah. All right. Take it easy. All
Take
right,
it
peace,
easy, bro.
Shemai.
See you soon. Be safe, bro. Peace.
Yeah, you too.